Welcome to the Mind Body Podcast, your rebellious podcast about a strong body, calm mind, healing, and fully living. I'm your host, Maria Angelova, creator of the Angelova Method, an integrative approach to mind and body connection. The Angelova Method redefines your success equation to include a healthy body and a healthy mind. Hi, Rebels, and welcome to the Mind Body Podcast, your rebellious podcast with me, your host, Maria, where it is all about a strong body, calm mind, healing, and fully living. And today, your special treat is Dr. Singh joining me from Alpha Wellness. Dr. Singh is an internal medicine physician, integrative medicine physician, and functional medicine physician. And I'm so excited to have him here because we are going to touch on a super hot topic, and that is heart health. Hello, Dr. Singh. How are you doing?
Hello, Maria. How are you? I'm doing well. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm so excited to have you here. We've been planning this for such a long time, and finally here we are.
I'm here. Thank you.
Yes. So, Dr. Singh, before we dive into all things wellness and heart, let's get to know who Dr. Singh is. So, give us 3 words that describe you and give us a little bit of a backstory behind each word.
Well, I'm very unique in this day and age of all the controlled healthcare. I'm like a single practice model, which I own my own practice. Kind of a dinosaur in today's world, in the world of medicine, and also I'm like a rebel like you, in a sense, that at 61 years of age, I decided to change my practice. So, and I love it. That's why I want to do it. So,
Yes. And congratulations on that. And
Thank
which is why you're a rebel, which is why you're here, which is why I'm so excited that you're here, because rebels have the best conversations ever, right?
that is correct.
Yes. So you just launched a practice. And let's quickly talk about this. I know that's not the focus of what we decided to talk about, but you decided to go into the concierge models. And I know quite a few physicians are considering that or thinking about it because from like even my friends, physicians who I know, there's a lot of burnout and a lot of, I'd say, dissatisfaction with the way of the current healthcare system is, or rather sick care system is.
That is
So
right.
talk to us as a physician, somebody who is, in the trenches. Why you decided to make that change?
Because most of this is dictated by what we can do for our patient by some third party. What I what I believe in is that any patient is the CEO of their body. Okay. So that body is their most important asset. So nobody, no insurance company is going to tell me that, oh, we are not going to cover the MRI, or we are not going to cover the CT scan, which you need, or we are not going to cover this medicine, or we are not going to go to that consultant, because that is like really, really painful for me to see, which I've seen over the last 30 years. So as a CEO of my own body, every patient has a right to protect this asset. So that's what I say, and I don't mind. I talk to so many patients, and they don't mind spending money out of the pocket for their own health. So that is the model I changed because a lot of people are looking for this thing. A lot of people are not believing in the sick healthcare, rather sick care system. It's not really a healthcare system, and there's so much disbelief, so much negative things for the health industry this time that doctors are not taken seriously. And it's a lot of it is not our fault. Yeah, I mean, there is our fault. We succumb to the system, but that's how the reality is. So I didn't want to really work with that anymore. And I talked to a lot of patients, and they were ready to support themselves with my help. So here we are.
I really liked, I'm totally going to steal that from you and quote you and say, you are the CEO of your own health. I love that. I've never thought about that before because, we have had those fantastic conversations where we talk about the importance of educating people that really each and every one of us is responsible for our own health, right? I mean, yes, the doctors are there, the healthcare is there when you need it, but really ultimately, the more proactive we are, and the more in charge we are of our health through lifestyle, which I would love to kind of like pivot through that and go into heart health, because to this day, heart health, heart attacks, strokes are the #1 killer and disability causer of health issues within the United States. So, and I know you do a ton of work related to heart health. And what I really like about you is that you believe in lifestyle, and you believe in the ability of the body to take care of itself and to restore itself.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, body always want to be healthy. Body presumes being healthy rather than being unhealthy. Even if we do something, we deviate from body's path, do something bad, eat some junk and all that stuff, body still deals with it and brings us to the center. We do something, it goes haywire, then it comes to the center. But if this continues, then we get into the disease process. We have made a lot of advances at the health industry or health science, but we have not reduced the disease process. I mean, that's very surprising or shocking. Like, just to give you an example, like within 10 years, so there were like, say, 12 million deaths from cardiovascular events in 2012, okay? Now it is about 19 million per year. So we are making progress in science, we are making progress in technology, we are making progress in new medicines, new injectable medicines, but what's the outcome? So it's not really helping the masses, who it's helping somebody, but it's not really helping the patients. So we have come this long way, and the burden of the healthcare industry from the cardiovascular standpoint by 2030 is projected to be $1.3 trillion.
Wow.
And this is all despite making progress in all those aspects I told you. And I don't see any reduction unless we really start to think out of the box. Every 30 seconds, somebody has a heart attack. Every 4 minutes, somebody dies from a stroke. And these are like final events, but there are other gray zones where people don't die from those things, but their life changes forever. If somebody has a stroke and is debilitated, can't really do what they wants to do, or they are on a bed, or have a heart attack, cardiovascular event, they have a heart failure, and they're told, hey, slow down. And they just retired like 2 days ago. So all that thing can be changed, but very proactively. And that education I do not see in the TV or masses anywhere.
It doesn't make much money.
Yeah, I see it's on the commercial for the medications and all those things. And who's watching those studies? I'm not expert in reading studies, but I've read some studies, and sometimes I don't agree with them because the data doesn't really match properly. There's always some kind of a calculation percentage. It's boasted, which is not really there. And
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead.
So from where you sit, and we talk about, I mean, there's increasingly more and more talk about lifestyle, right? We talk about it. There is all sorts of, like you said, gadgets and machines and things that, make you healthier, make you look a certain way, and so forth. As you know, I adhere to the basic lifestyle things, right? Eat nutritious food.
Absolutely.
Hydrate, sleep well, manage stress. Like, I don't think anything beats those basic. From the perspective of a physician and from your experience actually working with people some of who have risk factors, let's talk about what are the things that you work on with those people, or maybe even somebody healthy, to never get into that risk factor zone so that they can stay away. One thing that you say is that heart attacks and strokes are optional.
That is what I said.
Yeah, and I love that, because let's talk about that. Like, how do we make that an option that we don't decide to subscribe to?
Sure. And Maria, like you said, there are so many gadgets and machines and everything out there to help you out. But guess, we have the biggest machine here, and biggest machine here, and biggest machine, small, tiny things, zillions of them inside our body. who are constantly working for this big system. Okay, it's like a country, and we have like small districts and cells and municipalities, and everything is working as a unit for growth, for to be alive, to enjoy life, to live as long as possible, healthy, not kick the can further, you know? So
I'm just going to interrupt you there because what you just said, I honestly don't think we appreciate that. Like, if you just think about what you just said, like how harmoniously all of our organs and systems and cell work so that we can be a living, breathing, moving human being, like what a gift that is. And that's just a given. And then we are in charge of sustaining that or not.
yeah.
And unfortunately, a lot of times we appreciate that once something happens, right? We lose our ability to move, to see, to hear, whatever it is, some kind of health issue comes up, right?
Mhm.
So I just want to pause and like really let that sink in. Like that was such a powerful statement. All right, so now that I interrupted you, let's see if you remember what you're going to say.
Yeah, I
Sorry.
mean, on that same token, I would say like we would even mess up breathing if it was not automatic.
Yes,
You
oh
know?
my gosh, yes. I
No.
tell clients because so frequently they'll hold their breath, and I'm like, we are so lucky that we're breathing automatically
Uh-huh.
because otherwise, I don't know what would have happened to humans.
Yeah, we'll mess it up for sure.
And we're laughing, but it's kind of sad.
Yeah, it is. So, so there are a lot of lifestyle factors which we can change. Okay, what we call in functional medicine as modifiable lifestyle factors. Okay, so most important out of that is sleep. Okay, sleep is extremely important. Studies after studies have shown that if you don't sleep properly, you don't repair properly. If you don't repair properly, then you accumulate junk which is not cleared out properly. And when we are sleeping in deep sleep, we release what is called growth hormone, and that helps replenish our body. It's such an automated process, but we mess that up, right? We are up late at night, we are watching TV, we are on this WhatsApp, and lights are bright, everything we do. So we just need some guidance. I mean, rather than pushing the pills, we just need some sleep hygiene tips for patients or masses, not even patients. For everybody should have this free knowledge, you know. So how to sleep properly and how to have a good sleep hygiene. Because 7 to 8 hours of sleep, depending on your age, is a must for you to repair, for you to be healthy the next day, and all your metabolism to be pristine. Okay, so that is number one. We are looking for like different pills and here and there. I see patients all the time, and they're on like 10 milligram of melatonin. I said, what? And there's no studies done on 10 milligram melatonin. The best sleep happens with even 0.3 milligram of melatonin. 0.3. So that's how the physiological dose is. And so with that comes also, I'll just go deviate slightly off, because a lot of melatonin is produced in the gut, in the intestine. A lot of people don't know that. You know, we think that melatonin is only produced in the brain, but in the gut. So if your gut is disrupted, which probably like 80 to 90% of people's gut is disrupted with what is called leaky gut, where the things which are supposed to not be going into the bloodstream from the gut goes into the gut, into the body circulation. And just to tell people, imagine our body is like a donut, okay? So there's a system outside, then there's a hole, and then this is the body. Just stretch it out like big time. So that is your inside is your intestine, from mouth to anus, right? It is in your body, but it's still outside your body. So that gut microbiome, from there, everything can get absorbed in the bloodstream from outside to inside the body and cause a lot of issues. And melatonin can be disrupted by the gut microbiome not acting properly. They act in the synergy with our body, symbiotic. That is mean they are helping us out, we are helping them out. But if it's disrupted, then it goes haywire. So that is just one example of sleep. Second thing is exercise. Exercise is extremely important. And people think that exercise means going to the gym, like doing workout for 2 hours, or running up the mountain with sweating and like almost dying at the top of the mountain. No, you cannot do those exercises every day. Ideally, best exercises, most underrated exercises because it's free, is walking.
Yeah.
Just some movement. Just walk 30 minutes, 45 minutes a day. And not even the heart rate doesn't even need to go too much. Between 60 to 70% of your maximum heart rate. And just to the viewers, maximum heart rate is calculated by 220 minus your age. So that is your maximum heart rate. So when I'm talking about this zone 2 walk, which is 60 to 70% of that maximum heart rate. So that is fat burning zone. And you'll start to burn fat just by walking. People don't believe me. I said, please do it at least for a month or two.
Yeah.
No, they want to do aggressive exercise, which goes into breaking down the glycogen, muscle breakdown, and lactic acid production. I'm not saying that is bad. We need that for some, but not on a constant basis.
I am really glad that you're bringing those basic things, because we have become, even exercise has become obsessive, and almost we have gone so much the other extreme, right? We have become so sedentary and so immobile. And then we go from that to like going crazy. And the body is like, what just happened? And we're sleep deprived. We're not rested. We're not properly nourished. And then we push the body above and beyond through HIIT workouts and crazy workouts, right? And the poor body is just going like, I'm really trying to help you out, but like you are abusing me, right? You're not sleeping, you're not nourishing me well. And now and I do have to say, I'm speaking from experience, because I think I've shared this with you. I used to be the HIIT workout girl. I used to sleep 2-3 hours a day, and I'm one of those people who can survive on 2-3 hours a day. Not to say that I thrive on that. I have become so like adamant about my sleeping patterns that my family is even like, who are you? I used to go to bed at like 2-3 a.m. and get up at 6. And now I'm like, no, I need my sleep. And then I'm also very much in tune. Some days it's okay to have a harder workout, but some days when you haven't slept, when you haven't nourished, when you're highly stressed, it is not the right time to push your body beyond the comfort. And then walking, I completely agree with you, because just probably in the past 2-3 days, I've had multiple conversations with people, whether it's been weight loss or some kind of chronic conditions. And I'm like, just do 10,000 steps a day of walking. That's it. That's it. No more, no less, just that. And see how over time, now that's the other thing. We want an overnight success, right? We want to walk one day and the next day, all of our issues have resolved. It doesn't work like that. But just make it a consistent habit, of recurring habit of just moving. Simple as that.
Absolutely, absolutely. It's so important, so important. I mean, HIIT doesn't need to be done more than 3 times a week and no more than 20 minutes at one time. That's it. I mean, walking should be more, and it's not only walking, which is movement. It is also when you walk out, you look at the trees, you look at the sky, you look at the sun, you listen to the birds, you look at the plants.
You mean not to look in your phone? Is that what you mean? Come on now.
Exactly, exactly. I don't want anybody to be even having headphones or listening to the music when they're walking outside. Yeah, if you are stuck inside a gym, then yeah, of course, watch TV, whatever. But best walk is walking outside, outside in the nature. Feel the wind, talk to the trees. I don't say I'm crazy, but yeah, I mean, you can listen to them literally, So
You know what? I do have to say, I do love listening to my music. I am like with the headphones, not the wireless ones, the wired ones.
yeah.
And I completely zone into my movement and into each step. And, I like to jog, and that's my therapy. But
Perfect.
when I do that, I don't listen to podcasts. I don't listen to the news. I don't listen to educational things. I am just like in the zone, enjoying my activity.
Exactly. That can be form of the meditation. And that is the third thing I'm going to come to is relaxation. What do you do to relax? What is your relaxation go to? Whether are you doing some kind of a hobby, painting, writing, singing, something like that.
Yeah.
So all those things are extremely important. And meditation, calm down, having some break time during the day. Just go sit down somewhere 5 minutes, take some deep breathing, do some what is called box breathing. Box breathing is very easy to do. 4-7-8 breathing. So these are like very small tools which we can be utilized for like 2 to 3 minutes. Whenever you feel stressed, just go sit down and just relax. You deserve that. Your
You
body.
know, you make another powerful point that in 2-3 minutes, we're not talking like 2-3 hours, we're talking about 2-3 minutes, can make such a huge difference in regulating your nervous system, in regulating your body functions, right? When we go into overdrive.
Yes.
Those can be very powerful and affect our overall well-being.
Absolutely. Then number 4 is food. Food is not only energy, food is information. Food can alter your genetic structure. Food can alter your epigenetics, which how your gene structure will present. People say, oh, I cannot do this. I'm destined to have cancer. I'm destined to have heart disease or diabetes. I said, no. Genes are like loaded guns. Okay? Guns don't fire on themselves. We need somebody to pull that trigger. So, and that trigger is the epigenetics, what we do to ourselves.
Yeah.
I'm not exercising, I'm not sleeping, I'm eating bad, I'm stressed all the time, I'm eating wrong foods, and some things we don't have any control about, the environmental toxins, which is like raining down from the air. We don't have that control. That's a government policy kind of thing. But the food we eat, there's so much contamination in them. All those things determine the epigenetics, and those are the triggers.
Yeah.
So the food is very extremely important. How we eat it, when we eat it, where we eat it, what is our mental state at that time when we are eating? Are we having a relationship with the food? I'm thinking that this food is going to turn into me in few days, or I'm just eating it because I'm eating it. So food needs to be eaten because we have a very intimate relationship with food as our information and genetic code inside our body, because that banana is going to turn into me. So.
But you know what? I wholeheartedly agree with you, because I'm really big about, and sometimes I annoy my family because I'm like, sit down, put technology away, and like really savor the food. Like take the time to enjoy the food, right? Like each bite, instead of standing up and shoving it because you have 5 minutes, right? Like sit down, have a meal, really savor each bite, chew the food, right? Instead of swallow it.
Absolutely.
If you're, I mean, I'm sure people have experienced that. If you're highly stressed and you're just shoving food, you can feel your gut is like heavy and knotted, and that food is not going down. That is not a good state to be digesting, right?
No, absolutely.
And then we mix that with, with alcohol, or we drink too many sugary drinks, and it's just like, it's disastrous.
Yeah.
And I also want to say, I'm one of those people who is about moderation. So I do have to say, I like ice cream, I like chocolate, I don't eat perfectly, but it's like the 80-20 rule. Like 80% of the time, I eat really well. 20% of the time, I have my sinful pleasures and I enjoy those. But
yeah, but in the world we live in, it's the opposite.
yeah.
We are eating more for pleasure than for the health.
Yeah.
We are 80% of the time we are eating because we want to eat, not because we want to live. So
Yeah.
my father used to say that eat, not eat to live, live to eat. That's my motto. My father used to say that just eat to live.
Yeah.
But in my previous life, I was like, no, I live to eat. I want to eat. I want to eat.
So I think in our days, if in our lives of rush, food has become a comfort thing, right? And it's those food which unfortunately are not good for us that we start binging on just because they give us that quick feel good. Long term and over time, we just crash. We go up and then crash down. But it gives us that quick satisfaction. And I mean, we have become a society of quick satisfaction. We want everything quick.
Yeah.
We've lived unhealthy, 50 years. We've never moved. We've never exercised. We haven't eaten well. And then overnight, we decide we can pop a bunch of pills and supplements and still not sleep well and binge watch TV till 3 a.m., but feel amazing. It just
Take
doesn't.
some injection and lose weight, so that's
That's a whole other topic. Yes.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, yeah, I mean, the fast food has definitely over the last like 40 decades, 50 decades has like just increased our obesity. Even childhood obesity is like so much. It's all depend on the quality of food. There's nothing wrong with food. It's
Yeah.
how the food is prepared and what are we eating.
Yeah, the preservatives. And I mean, and it is known that the nourishment value of food
Mhm.
has significantly decreased. Like even when we eat an apple today, it's not
Mhm.
the same thing as eating an apple 20 years
Absolutely.
ago, right?
A food which can survive a week is not food.
Right. Some of it can survive a month,
Six
scarily.
months. It can be on the shelf for 6 months. So that is not really food.
Yeah.
Different colors food. We need to use all the phytonutrients, all vegetables. Try one different food at least once a week. If not once a day, it's hard, but at least once a week, do some different kind of food which you have not eaten in a while.
Be
Or some
rebellious.
vegetables.
Try something different.
Mhm. Yeah, some make it colorful.
Yeah, make it
Like it,
colorful.
it just looks and it stimulates you. And so visual stimulation from food also triggers happy hormones. So you'll eat less with that. When the food smell, that aroma of food also makes you hungrier, right? You start salivating with the good smell of the food. My
Right.
daughter, when she was like 2 year old, my wife will cook some rice, basmati rice, and she will be on the top floor and she'll say, "Oh, you made rice," and she'll come running down. So that's the power of food, you know. So we need to just utilize it.
One thing that I do want to mention is, though, I think in our world of unfortunately getting used to so much fake food, right? Food that's not really food, that has no nutritional value. Our palates sometimes have adjusted to those fake tastes, right? So if you're always used to eating, I don't know, some kind of crappy chips that are in color and stuff, and now you have an apple, the apple loses its appeal because our palate has been conditioned to eat that other thing. I'm big about environmental toxins, and I'll tell you, for example, when in the dryer, I don't use the dryer sheets, especially the ones that have fragrance on them. I use essential oils.
Mm-hmm.
A friend said, "Well, how much essential oils are you putting?" She's like, "I keep putting," and she said some ridiculous number of drops, and I was like, "Whoa!" And I was like, "Wait a second." I was like, "Are you using detergent with scent in it and fragrance?" She goes, "Yeah." I said, "Your body is conditioned to that fragrance, right? So now you can't smell because the fragrance is so overpowering. You cannot smell the natural scent because it's so subdued, right?"
Mm-hmm.
So I think to what you're talking about, I think that's a great test, actually. Like, take an apple and, I don't know, a piece of chocolate or a piece of chips, and just look at it, and like, if your body is tugging that way, that's your body has been conditioned to like that, right? And it's not from a point of judgment, just from a point of awareness. How can you shift that to where the apple looks appealing?
And again, we have the biggest machine for that. So
Yes, we do.
we just need to use it, be present in the moment.
Yes.
And then only change will happen. I mean, that's what I tell patients that, okay, you know what to do. I'm here to make you do what you know. You know? I'm trying to do
Accountability partner.
that. Yeah, I'm trying to do that. So food is extremely important. Other thing is relationships. So
Mhm.
relationship with your friends, your family, community, all that thing gives you a purpose. And what you are doing, what are you doing for anybody else, somebody else other than you? But
Serving.
we are not even selfish, you know. I want to be selfish for myself that I need to help keep my health in pristine condition. I need to be that selfish. Not the
Mhm.
selfishness from the, oh, I eat everything, I take everybody's money and all this. No. This is, as I mentioned, this is your asset. This is the most important asset you have. Nothing else is going to matter. You
Yeah.
know, if you're not healthy, you're not going to enjoy that food. You may enjoy for 5, 6, 7, 10 years. Life, we don't know how long we are going to live. We need to be enjoying it till the very end. You
Yeah.
know, so all those relationships and all give you mental stimulation. Also defines your purpose and make you do something for other people. But if I'm not healthy, how am I going to think about somebody else?
Yeah.
If I don't have love, I'm going to give it to somebody.
I
You know?
was just talking to a client today and I said, if I don't keep my body healthy, I can't spot my clients, right? My work is very, very
Mhm.
physical. So
Yes,
if I have aches here and there, how am I gonna teach somebody else to take care of their body, right? So like you said, I have to take care of my body and respect my body. And also very importantly, and I know you do that as well, is you're leading by example. You have a lifestyle that supports what you're talking about. You're not just preaching it out there, but
absolutely.
behind the scenes not doing that, right?
Mhm.
So I think that gives you a very different experience because one, you're speaking from experience. And then I think when people feel your energy is different when you feel good, right? Would you agree with that?
Absolutely.
People
Absolutely.
can feel that.
Hmm.
And then that's the energy you can spread to everybody else. And I wholeheartedly agree with you about, I call it the tribe, the people we surround ourselves with, right? And I wholeheartedly agree with what you made, the point that you made about serving. I think that's huge because we can get so wrapped up, especially in today's world, in our ego and such, versus really growing and spreading our growth and our light over others and helping others grow as well.
And we can all grow together, you
Yeah.
know. This is how the world is.
Yeah.
So, but so it's just thinking needs to change. That's it.
Yeah,
So,
mindset.
and my last thing is like stress. So stress reduction. So stress reduction, as I mentioned, all these things which I mentioned reduces the stress, you know. So just identify the stress, where is this coming from, what you can do about it. If you cannot do anything about it, try to let it go. Or if you are carrying some stresses from forever, why are you carrying them? Try to do some meditation and just think breathing exercises. Just try to help yourself out
Yeah.
and
Step
get
by
some
step.
get some guidance. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
because
Go ahead. I'm so sorry.
because stress is like related to heart disease like crazy. They've done studies on that. When you're stressed, it actually, the brain stimulates your bone marrow to produce certain kind of cells. It's called macrophages, monocytes. Okay, and they spill out of the bone marrow. Some of them go to the spleen. Rest of them goes to everywhere, and it goes into the heart. It goes into the endothelium, which is the lining of the blood vessels, and it damages them. It goes in there, and then the response of the body starts that what is this thing here? This thing doesn't belong here. So body starts to take care of that, and the process ultimately leads to atherosclerosis. But it all starts from the brain, the stress, amygdala. Amygdala, they've done so many studies on that, animal studies, human studies, and it can be all prevented by all the steps we have talked about before. All those things. Uh,
Yeah. And I really like that you brought us back to the basics. I mean, it's, yes, there are supplements, yes, there are medications, and there are, Western medicine is there for a purpose. But there are so many things that we can do within our basic routine, daily routine,
yes,
help our bodies thrive and serve
absolutely.
us for a long period of time
Yes,
so that we can live functional, happy life, active life.
that's what life is. Life is
Yeah.
supposed to be functional, active, your lifespan and health span to be the same, not that your health span ends here and the life continues.
Yeah.
So my father lived to be 103, and
Wow.
he was a perfect example of health span and lifespan to be the same. He could run the last day.
Wow.
He just went to sleep and then get up. That's it.
That's the
So
best way to go.
absolutely. So it all can be done, but again, it all encompasses all the things we talked about: sleep, exercise, stress reduction, eat right, social circle, serving purpose, all those things. Extremely important. Yeah, medicines and everything is there, supplements are there, testing is there, but we need to get the basis right. This is the root cause medicine. I'm
Yeah.
not even going into any supplements or any testing at this time because I think it's going to go beyond time.
Yes, we need several episodes to touch on all of those topics. All great
Yes.
topics. Yes, all great topics.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So if you were to leave us with one piece of advice, Dr. Singh, what would that be?
Be selfish as far as your body is concerned and take care of yourself. Be kind to yourself.
Love it. Love it. Powerful, powerful statement. Simple and powerful. I cannot let you go without you telling us what's your definition of rebellious.
I told you that like making a change when you think change is not possible.
Uh-huh.
Right? So when I was going through like concierge model, let's talk about that. Changing from a traditional medicine model, taking care of 3,000-4,000 people, and then changing it to few hundred people without knowing what will be the conversion rate. Like you know, all those finances and everything comes into play, but you have to take the plunge. You have to be a rebellious person to make a change. Otherwise, it's not going to happen.
Yeah, and change can be scary, right? But that's
Change
okay.
is always scary. That's why changes don't happen. But people who go with the change can change the world.
Yes, the crazies, the rebels.
Yes, absolutely. Rebels.
Love it, love it. Dr. Singh, where can people find you? So Alpha Wellness, the website is?
alphawellnessatl.com. And our office is located in Alpharetta, and it's 3235 North Point Parkway, Suite 104, Alpharetta, Georgia.
Yeah, and we can post that. But I recently visited the office, and it's a beautiful space with so many great offerings and great energy. And what I really love about Alpha Wellness is, again, the approach of root cause approach, right? That you're really seeking to help the patients with the basics to help their bodies restore and rejuvenate and stay healthy for the long term.
Yes, Maria, that's the goal.
Yes. Well, Dr. Singh, thank you so much for being here. Rebels, you know the spiel. Feel free to share, like, ask any questions that you might have. And certainly feel free to reach out to Dr. Singh and his team should you be curious about the type of services that they offer. As always, do not forget to stay rebellious. Dr. Singh, thank you so much again being here with us today. And Rebels, we will see you next time.
Thank you, Maria.
Did you enjoy the conversation? Like, subscribe, and share with your friends. Want to redefine your success equation to include a healthy body and a healthy mind? Check out our website at rebellious-studio.com.